Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we have the HG Build Divers Gundam 00 Diver. So this is basically a modified version of the HG 00 Gundam, which I have previously reviewed. You can check out that review if you like. And there's not really going to be a whole lot really different to say about it from that review. It has basically all the same flaws. All the pros and cons, I guess you could say, of that kit. It just has a few different exterior changes to the armor, and that's pretty much it. Whether you like one or the other, I guess, is probably going to come down to which you prefer. Although I have to say, I can imagine probably most people are going to prefer this version, unless you're like a really extremely big fan of Gundam 00, which there are plenty of people out there who are really big fans of 00, and you might just prefer the original design, or at least you might just like to have the original design, whereas with this one, you might like to have this one as well. But the nice thing is that both of the kits are very cheap. They're the original kit and this one as well, both retail for 1,000 yen. So a very, very affordable kit and a really good quality kit for that price, I can say. Building the kit was quite fun. It's really simple. It goes together pretty quickly, like with the previous kits, like these similar kind of this age of HG kits, with these 00 kits that were coming out at this time, and then the age kits that were also kind of on a similar time of HG kits. They're all quite similar in terms of how they're really nice quality HG kits. Overall, with kind of the same general pros and cons to them, and just really nicely articulated, nicely constructed. So I think Bandai was really getting to a strong point in terms of engineering these kits. They just had some a little bit more refining to do in them to kind of get them up to the quality that we have now. But I don't think that there's any really moments in building this where you're really thinking like, oh man, it feels like I'm building a kit from 2008, I want to say. I forget when the original kit came out, but it doesn't feel like you're building an older kit. I mean, there may be a few parts where the seam lines will make you kind of roll your eyes a little bit, but otherwise, I think this kit is really quite nice. Alright, so before we get into talking about the accessories and things that you get included with this kit, I want to give you guys a side-by-side look at the 00 Diver with the regular 00 Gundam, so you can just kind of see the similarities and differences. One thing that I do like is how they repurposed the little yellow parts in the vents onto the front skirt. I think that was a really cool way to kind of reuse those parts and not just let them go to waste. Another improvement that I like about this over the original is the size of the GN drives. So you get new parts of the GN drives for this. So you do have the original GN drives, which you could use. They won't fit in there. You'd have to use them for something else. You have to like modify that, or you can use these for something else. But anyway, the GN drives are much smaller on this version, as you can see comparatively. You also have all the parts to make the original head, not to have two heads, but you'd have to use some parts of that, some of the original parts to make the original head if you prefer that design. Of course, you don't have the yellow stickers to make that in the yellow color, but of course those stickers don't really work that great, so not really a huge loss there. You do also have the original leg parts. So if you don't like these new legs, which don't have any clear gen condenser part here on the side of the leg like the original kit has, if you want to have that, you do have the original parts for that legs, and we do have our clear parts here, so we have our leftover clear parts. The nice thing too about the clear parts for this kit is that the clear parts are actually molded in clear green. On the original kit, they're just molded in just plain clear, so you have to paint those in clear green, or if you want to, like if you were painting it in Trans Am mode or something, you could paint them in clear, like bright green, I guess there should be. But anyway, it's nice that you have these clear parts actually molded in clear green. If you're just building straight out of the box and don't want to paint those clear parts, it definitely looks a lot better. So the parts, areas where you can see those, like on the arms and on the head, those are nice that those are in clear green, where on this kit, they just look a little bit lackluster. They're just plain clear. Concerning those areas though, for whatever reason, they give you these really dark green stickers for a couple of the areas. So like on the head, these are these like dark green stickers that are meant to go over the clear parts, which just kind of seems kind of silly, so I didn't use those. And then they have these dark green parts which go under, these circular ones go under here. You can see them on this arm. Those go under the clear parts. So again, I'm not really sure why they gave those stickers in dark green, but it was the same on both versions of the kit. Just among some other extra parts that you have left over, you do have the original crotch piece. Again, if you do prefer that, you can use that if you want. But okay, let's talk a little bit about the accessories that we get for this kit. So we have just the holding hands, which I've got on there now. But new to this kit, we have a new set of holding hands, which look almost the same, but the difference with these is that the holes in them are a little bit different, so that the point is that you can you have a wider range of weapons that you can hold with this kit, because the point is they want you to be able to customize this by kind of kit bashing things using weapons from different kits together with this. So with just the standard hands, those will only fit a certain size weapon. Of course, they give you a different set of holding hands which have a slightly different size hole in them, so that is convenient if that's something that you wanted to do. Not the most difficult thing to modify, of course, but it's nice that we at least have that as an option. We do also have a set of open hands, which are very nice, expressive open hands here for the left and the right hand, very appreciated. And then we have a set of trigger finger hands here as well, so trigger finger once again for both the left and the right, and that is because we do have two of the kind of main weapon for this mobile suit. So it's of course the GN Sword 2, which does have its kind of sword mode, and then there is the rifle mode, which will look like that. So you can choose between the two. There is, of course, a gray sticker going over the top of that. Once again, the clear part is actually in clear green, which is appreciated better than the original kit being just in plain clear. Oh, to be fair, plain clear is nice if you're painting. If you're not painting, though, it's nice to just have that already like that. Even if you are painting, it's nice to not have to worry about painting that. So I don't know. These aren't exactly the same. There is a left and the right version because they have this little peg on here, and which will allow you to plug this onto the side skirt for storage on the Gundam like so. Now here around on the back, and as it's pointed out in the manual, we do have the GN Saber handles here as well, but no Beam Saber effect parts for this. I think one of the things that really would have been nice if they were going to make another run with this kit, I mean like take another go at the kit, and they were going to be giving us some new parts, obviously, for making the 00 Diver. One thing that would have been nice if they would have just thrown in a set of Beam Saber effect parts with the kit, because the original kit didn't come with that either. So that is unfortunate, but if you have any extra Beam Saber effects lying around, which you probably do, you can use those with this kit if you'd like. Alright, so let's whip through this articulation, shall we? Here we have on the head a sticker there for the eyes, a sticker there for the little red part on the head. It's a clear green part, but they have you cover that up with a sticker, so that's okay. But that clear green part does come around here to the back of the head as well with that nice part. Again, there is a dark green sticker to cover that up if you'd like. Seems kind of pointless, but I do like the look of this new head quite a bit. I like that they got rid of the yellow parts. I just was never too big of a fan of the yellow aspects of the V-fin. They still kept the general shape of the design of the V-fin, but it is changed in a pretty cool way. The extra little fins on there, just the overall shape of the new head does look quite nice. So that will go up to there, pretty good, like that, and down all the way to there. So head is good, no problems there. In the waist section, forward and back bend also is there. It's not the most amazing thing that I've ever seen, but it definitely is pretty good for a high grade, no doubt. Side to side motion, we have a little bit of that here as well. Rotation, of course, but I mean, who are we kidding? Going around to the backpack, this does have a ball joint here at the base of this joint. It rotates there at the top as well, rotates here, and then this will also move up and down here. These little flaps on the side will move up and down like so. And overall, just really nice, cool shape to this new GN drive here on the side. Like I said, I like that it's smaller, I like that we have the little gray vent details poking out through there. The just added detail to that does make it look quite nice. And that's one thing that I do want to say about this, is because the new parts are pretty nicely detailed, and the new parts are scattered throughout the kit well enough. If we had just like all new parts just all here in the upper section, and those were really nicely detailed, it would look kind of weird having a lot of nice new details here and then not very much detail down here. But we've got new parts here, here, here in the shoulders, a new part here on the side of the arm, which doesn't really have much detail, but new parts here on the side of the leg too, which does have some nice detail going around on that as well. So they did a pretty good job with the new parts being nicely detailed and spread out throughout the different areas of the kit, so that the overall detail of the kit does look nicer compared to the original kit. So I like that quite a bit. If we move that out of the way as best we can bring the arm up to all the way to there, more than perpendicular, so that's pretty good. The polycap in the shoulder will swing forward like so, and then when there's no seam line here on the new shoulder armor, that's nice. I'm not really too big of a fan of this kind of bar detail there. On the top, it looks okay, and it's kind of like, in theory, it's a design aspect that I typically like, but I don't really like it from the front. It just kind of looks odd. But polycap will swing forward, giving you some nice movement there. Otherwise, the arm just works as usual, rotation at the top. A nice joint there in the elbow, giving you more than 90 degrees, but not a full bend. We have a joint here in the wrist. This part will move a little bit up and down, and then just the wrist, of course, is just on a ball joint. This front skirt thing is just connected onto a ball joint so that can kind of move around as you need, but it's not really in the way of anything, so you don't really need to move that at all. If it was just fixed like that and didn't move at all, I think it would be totally fine. It really wouldn't hinder anything, but it does move if you need it to do anything. The side skirts will also move up and down a little bit as well. Not too crazy, but you are still able to get the leg out to pretty much 180 degrees or 90 degrees perpendicular. Well, anyway, 180 degrees if you have them spread like that, whatever you want to say. The back skirt as well also changed with these little fins added onto the side. A nice new little addition to the overall design. I like that. But this does not move at all. But of course, as you saw earlier, you can remove the beam saber handles there. For our hip joint up in there, that will swing side to side, and then it will also rotate front and back. We have a little cap piece covering up the part where you're going to plug in the action base. You can pop that off, and there you go. Otherwise, as you saw, no problems bringing the leg out to the side or to the front. You've basically got nothing to worry about with that. Nice knee bend here as well. Double joints with the knee armor separating there, giving you a full bend in the knee. One thing I did forget to mention, we do have rotation at the top of the leg there, of course. So again, really nicely articulated kit in general. This front part on the front of the leg here, this is a new part as well. The original one didn't have the little fins on the side. So that's kind of a new thing with this addition of little fins here on the side, back skirt, addition of fins on the side. This part on the forearm has the addition of these little fins on the side. So that's kind of a theme, I guess you could say, to the additions for this kit. Ankle joint will move side to side. Once again, we have a gray sticker on that part there on the top of the foot. There's no toe bend down, unfortunately, but the foot itself will bend up very far all the way up like that if you don't pop out that front skirt part there. Front ankle skirt, I should say, and then down to there. So no problems with the feet. The only problem with the foot maybe is up underneath here. We do have a little bit of hollow space, but overall some pretty nice detail there. Okay, so as you can see, the model overall is really quite nice though. And as I mentioned earlier, there are a few seam lines. There's a seam line on the arm, basically on like any of the old parts. There's a seam line on the arms that will be kind of annoying on the forearms. That's probably going to be really the only really annoying part, because on the legs as well, it's also just hidden as a panel line, and on the shoulders, as I mentioned, those are new parts. The seam line is hidden as a panel line. So in terms of the high grade seam line headache that you'll have to deal with this kit, should be pretty minimal. It really shouldn't be a whole lot that you'll have to deal with in terms of the seam lines for this kit. Pretty much just the forearm there, and it's not really that big of a part. So that's always nice, not to have to deal with too much of that. Now the other thing about high grades is masking and stickers, and there are a few stickers as you saw on this kit, but also really not too bad in the way of stickers either. There's a couple there on the weapons, a couple there on the tops of the feet. Those are pretty easily masked parts, I'd have to say. And then it's just like the eyes, that's pretty normal. So really not too bad in terms of missing color apps. Of course, with high grades, you can always go in and pick out plenty of details that you could go in and paint that aren't covered by stickers, that are just kind of aspects missing in terms of color correctness, in terms of the kit straight out of the box is not going to be there. And there's plenty of other fixes and things that you could do with that. But as I think it is just straight out of the box, the amount of work that's facing you in order to make this kit really look its best is pretty minimal. So that's pretty nice. Okay, so one other thing I wanted to talk about related to the new parts is, are the new parts really enough to this kit? Because what we want with this new line of HG Build Divers kits is not just kits with like just a couple new parts, but we want things that are, you know, kind of a little bit more new and exciting. They have plenty of new stuff in there to play with. And I mean, the Build Fighters line kind of set the tone for that, of just having a fair amount of new parts to them, at least to set them different. And that was kind of my original reaction to this kit when we first saw it, was it was really not that different from the original mobile suit. But I have to say, after building it and spending some more time with it, I have to say it definitely is different from what I was expected. It's definitely much better and much more different. I mean, like, not different from my expectations being different, but I mean the mobile suit itself, the kit, is different from the original kit that it's based off of, more than I was expecting. So that was a pleasant surprise. So if you're like me, maybe, and in the thinking that, oh, it's like just a barely different version of the HGOO Gundam, well, I'm happy to admit that it was definitely a more enjoyable and much more different kit in the end than I expected. So with that, I can pretty much wrap up this review, guys. I have to say, if you're a fan of Gundam 00, if you're a fan of this particular mobile suit in the Build Divers series thus far, you'll thoroughly enjoy this kit. It's only 1,000 yen, very cheap, very affordable, very worth that price. That said, I really wouldn't have minded if they would have made the kit just a little bit more expensive, add a couple of 100 yen onto that list price and give us some sort of new weapon with it. That said, I really wouldn't have minded if they would have added a couple 100 yen onto the list price to give us some sort of something new in terms of the weapons for the kits. It's just kind of a little bit disappointing that we just have the same weapons with the original kit and nothing new. That said, we are getting the new, different version of this kit out. I believe it's maybe in June. That is like a set of this plus the, I think it's like the diver, it's the ace diver pack, something like that anyway, with some different swords and a backpack thing with this. So that will be a separate set, I guess, that you can get later, which will kind of make buying this mobile suit by itself, this kit by itself, kind of pointless. I'm not really sure who really is going to do that at that point, but I guess if you're just looking for a cheaper alternative. Anyway, so we'll see that later on when that comes out. Otherwise, the weapons set is going to be available as a separate thing, so I'll just pick that up as just the separate weapon set and review that for you guys. Of course, showing you how that will all work with this kit and all of that. So, as always, a huge thank you to USA Gundam Store for sponsoring this review. And guys, do check out the link to their site down below. Use that coupon code there, ZakuAurelius10, save 10%, pick up this kit. Highly recommended. You know, saving 10% off of a $10 kit isn't really going to save you that much, but you can save, you can use that coupon code on everything on their site. So pick up a few things, including this kit. And thank you guys as always for watching. Leave any other further questions and comments down below. What do you guys think of the kits? What do you guys think of the series so far? We're a couple episodes in, and yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey! Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you want to check the kit out for yourself, you can head over to USA Gundam Store. Use that coupon code ZakuAurelius10. Save yourself 10%. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.